Walk into any pharmacy and the shelves are glowing. Fish oil is one of the best-selling supplements on Earth. Millions of people swallow a golden capsule every morning. The promises on the label are huge. Better heart, sharper brain, brighter mood. It sounds almost too good to be true. But does the science actually back up the hype? Let's find out what the real research shows. The honest answer is more interesting than yes or no. Fish oil isn't a miracle, and it isn't useless either. The truth sits somewhere in the middle. Marketing loves a bold, simple headline. Real science prefers careful, nuanced answers. Today we follow the evidence, not the marketing. And the evidence here is surprisingly solid. Let's start with the basics. Omega-3s are a type of essential fat. Essential means your body cannot fully make them. So you have to get them from your diet. They're not just fuel sitting in your body. They're building blocks your cells need to work. Two of them matter most for your heart and brain. The two stars are called EPA and DHA. These are the key marine omega-3s. They're the active forms your body really uses. Think of them as the premium, ready-to-use version. You find them mainly in oily fish and in the fish oil supplements made from them. That marine source is the whole story behind fish oil. So where do EPA and DHA actually come from? Oily fish are the richest natural sources. Salmon is the famous example most people know. Sardines and mackerel are just as packed with it. Even canned versions count, which keeps it affordable. These fish pack EPA and DHA right into your meal. A supplement simply bottles those same fats. One capsule, the same omega-3s, no cooking required. But why would a fat protect your health? These fats help build the membranes around your cells. Every cell wall partly depends on fats like these. They support your heart and blood vessels. They also play a role in the brain. Omega-3s can help calm inflammation in the body. Chronic inflammation quietly drives many long-term diseases. That biology is why people hope they prevent disease. So why do so many people reach for fish oil? Most take it hoping to protect their heart. Heart disease is a leading worry worldwide. Others want better memory, focus, or a steadier mood. Some simply heard it was good for them. Hope is powerful, but hope is not proof. So researchers ran a massive trial to test it. The landmark study is called the VITAL trial. It is one of the biggest tests of fish oil ever. It followed about 26,000 U.S. adults. These were generally healthy people, not patients. That makes the results relevant to everyday people. A trial this large can spot small, real effects. This is real science, not a quick marketing claim. Here is how the trial was set up. Participants took 1 gram of fish oil every day. Others got 2,000 IU of vitamin D. Some got both together, and some got a placebo. A placebo is a dummy pill with no active dose. Nobody knew which they were taking. That design helps remove bias from the results. Researchers track them for over 5 years on average. About 5.3 years, to be exact. So what did all that data reveal? The result was modest but genuinely meaningful. Fish oil lowered risk for most heart outcomes. That is a real win worth noting. But there was one clear exception. It did not reduce the risk of stroke. So the benefit was real, but not universal. Let's put a number on that benefit. Overall, heart attack risk fell about 8%. Coronary heart disease deaths also dropped around 8%. 8% across thousands of people still matters. But let's be honest about scale. This is useful, not dramatic. It is not the miracle the ads suggest. Now here is where it gets interesting. An average can hide the most important story. Picture a class with a wide range of grades. The average hides who soared and who struggled. Fish oil works the same way. So who benefited most in the trial? The people who ate the least fish. For low fish eaters, the effect was much bigger. Major heart events fell about 19%. That is far stronger than the overall average. Their heart attack risk dropped by roughly 40%. 40% is a striking number. The benefit was also notable in African American participants. Clearly, some groups gained far more than others. So what does that pattern really mean? Think of your diet as a puzzle. If an omega-3 piece is missing, there's a gap. Fish oil slots neatly into that empty space. It is like topping up a tank that runs low. So it mainly works by filling a gap. It does the most for people lacking omega-3. If your puzzle is already complete, the boost shrinks. But what about all those brain and mood promises? Labels often hint at memory and happiness. It is one of fish oil's biggest selling points. Luckily, Vital studied this too. It ran a sub-study called Vital DP. It looked specifically at depression and mood. So what did it find? Here is the honest result. Omega-3 supplements did not prevent depression. There was no clear mental health benefit in healthy adults. The mood line stayed essentially flat. For mood, fish oil is not the answer many hope. That does not make it a bad supplement. It just sets honest expectations. Now for a striking exception. One 2026 study looked at dialysis patients. These people face very high heart risk. Their bodies are already under heavy strain. Omega-3 cut their heart attacks and strokes sharply. The drop was around 43% in that group. That is a dramatic, eye-catching effect. But read that result carefully. That is a specific high-risk group. It does not mean the same effect for everyone. A sick population can respond very differently. A big drop there says little about healthy people. It would be wrong to assume it applies to all. High-risk patients should follow their doctor's guidance. Let's zoom out from any single study. A large Harvard meta-analysis pulled many studies together. A meta-analysis combines many trials into one view. Combining studies gives a more reliable picture. It linked omega-3 supplements to lower cardiovascular risk. So the heart signal shows up again and again. The signal is real, even if the effect is modest. A fair question is whether it is safe. Good news, at these doses, fish oil was safe. 1 gram a day caused no major harm in trials. That is reassuring for everyday use. Some people notice a fishy aftertaste. Taking it with meals can ease that effect. But serious side effects were not a concern here. So who might actually benefit from a supplement? Think back to the puzzle and the gap. Mostly people who rarely eat oily fish. If your diet lacks omega-3, fish oil can help. It is a reasonable gap filler, not a cure-all. For heavy fish eaters, the extra value is small. If you do buy one, read the label closely. The total fish oil number is not what counts. Look for the actual EPA and DHA amounts. Those are the active omega-3s that matter. Add EPA and DHA together to see the real dose. A big capsule can still hold very little of either. So compare brands by EPA plus DHA, not bottle size. But the best strategy is still food first. Aim for oily fish about twice a week. Salmon, sardines, or mackerel all count. 2 simple servings can cover most people's needs. Real fish brings more than just omega-3. It also delivers protein and other nutrients. A capsule cannot fully copy a whole food. So whenever you can, choose the fish itself. Don't eat fish. Plants offer omega-3 as well. Flax seeds, walnuts, and chia are good examples. They provide a plant form called ALA. Your body converts some ALA into EPA and DHA. But that conversion is weak and quite limited. So plant omega-3 is a softer version of the marine kind. For non-fish eaters, every source still adds up. So here's the balanced bottom line. Fish oil can help, especially if you eat little fish. The science gives it real, modest credit, but it is not a magic pill for your heart. It works best as one piece of a healthy life. Good food, movement, and sleep still matter most. One important note before we finish. This is general information, not medical advice. Everyone's health situation is different. Talk to your doctor before starting any supplement. That is especially true if you take medications. Your personal health needs always come first. So here is the simple takeaway. Eat fish when you can, supplement to fill the gap. That is food clearly explained. This is Calorie Recipe. See you in the next one.